This is a super cool white hat way to keep people on your blog longer. Ready for it? Drum roll, blah, 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 blah. It's easy AI quizzes. Easy AI quizzes. Good for brand. It's good for time on site. It's good for people discovering more content that you have, more blog posts. Good for redirecting people to bottom of funnel SEO landing pages or pages where you want people to purchase on or explore your products and services. I got this tip from Harpreet, who was a guest on The Edward Show, Harpreet Singh. He came on episode 782. That episode is Parasite SEO, Press Releases, and Manipulating AI Overviews. And Harpreet is super smart and a very talented SEO. And he gave me this tip, which is he's using AI to make quizzes, comprehension quizzes for his blog posts. And I love this tip because it's so easy. And right after recording that podcast, I went and I did it myself. So I'm going to give you 3 levels of how to do this. It is such a great little thing and it's fun to do too. I had a lot of fun with it. So I'm going to give 3 levels for how to do this. Level 1, very simple. At the end of your blog post, at the end of your article, and honestly, if you're doing programmatic SEO, you can even just have AI generate this with the right prompts. But level 1 is at the end of your article, you have a comprehension quiz. And the prompt that you give, what I did is I just copied everything, literally Command A. I just copied everything on the page in the article, just Command A, copy all, paste it into ChatGPT and say, make a 5-question comprehension quiz for this. That's it. Very, very simple. ChatGPT will give you a multiple choice, single answer quiz. That's what you're looking for. You want a multiple choice, single answer quiz. So it's 5 questions. It doesn't have to be 5 questions. It can be 3 too, but I did 5 questions and each question only has 1 correct answer. And then you tell ChatGPT to write success messages or failure messages based on how well you do in the quiz. If you get like 2 out of 5, you want a failure message that tells people to take the quiz again. If they get 4 out of 5, you say, you're almost there. This is great. You're ready to start doing so-and-so, whatever the article is on. 5 out of 5, you're a superstar. And then what you do is you take these questions and you take the failure and success messages. You take everything that ChatGPT gave you, go to Claude. Claude is better at making code. It's so much better at making code. Oh my gosh, so much better. Go to Claude, paste all of that text from ChatGPT, and it'll give you the quiz and then embed it in an HTML widget with whatever website builder you use. I'm using WordPress. I'm using Elementor Pro on WordPress, and I took an HTML widget and I just embedded the code there. You give your brand colors to Claude so that you can make the quiz on brand. It looks on brand. Give the brand colors to Claude, the hex codes, and yeah, very, very simple. That is level 1. Now, level 2, this is where I'm at. Level 2 is make the quiz more engaging, make it nicer. Do everything that I just mentioned, but put in effects. I have a timer. I have when somebody gets a question right, it blinks green. When somebody gets it wrong, it blinks red. If somebody gets a perfect score, 5 out of 5, there's confetti. There's confetti. It rains down from the top of the page. It's really fun. If you want to see this yourself, then you can check out my article, 7 SEO experiments, case studies, and lessons learned. That'll be in the description for this episode. And there's at the bottom of that article, there's one of these quizzes and you can take the quiz. It's really easy. And when you get 5 out of 5 questions, you'll see the confetti. You'll see what's cool too is if you get questions wrong, just naturally, Claude will tell you what the right answer is. Claude will do all of this stuff to make the quiz that you might not even have thought of when you're initially designing it, and just makes it so easy. Claude just put in, without me instructing it to, what the correct answer is if somebody got it wrong in a recap at the end of the quiz. And then what's beautiful about this is when you do this, you get a template that you can use for future articles. And I keep reusing my template. I will literally say to Claude, I say, this is my code. I want you to replace the code with these questions, and I will paste the questions and I will paste the code. And then literally Claude will just swap out the existing questions with the new questions. And then I paste that code into the new article in an HTML widget. It's so easy and it's fun. I love this tip because it's dynamic. Now here's level 3 and level 3 is a lot smarter and I'm not here yet. And it's a little bit extra work. And honestly, I'll probably do this for my next quizzes. So level 3 is more contextual. It might not work for all blogs, but what you do is you put in a quiz in the middle. You put in a comprehension quiz in the middle just before people might be getting tired of reading. So in the middle of the article, before people are getting tired, you put a comprehension quiz in the middle to keep people engaged. And then the quiz also makes people realize that there's more to know. So then they keep reading. You have some questions that maybe are harder. They're like, oh, I don't know the answer to this. Let me keep reading. You might want to make this quiz shorter than the end of the article quiz. So maybe like 3 questions. And then at the end of the article quiz for level 3, what you do is you actually interlink. So you have a success message, you have success messages, and in your success messages or a single message, you are recommending people after the quiz to join your newsletter or to read another article on the same subject in order to go deeper. Maybe your newsletter allows them to go deeper too. Or you recommend your products and services, and so you have a call to action at the end of the quiz. And I really like that one. That's what I'm going to be doing next. A common thing that I had to learn, that I had to figure out to do, is make sure when you have your quizzes generated, make sure that you are not using H2s or H1s for the quiz. I had to have Claude fix that. If you are using H2s or H1s for the quiz, it could mess up the SEO on your pages. You don't want to have multiple H1s. I had a guest come on who said it was better to have multiple H1s. He ran a bunch of tests, but then when we dug deeper, we found out that there were all these reasons why the results were doing well in spite of the multiple H1s. So I would say you still don't want to have multiple H1s. But if you want to listen to that episode, it was a recent one. That was episode 751 of this show, the surprising SEO tests that grew traffic even after Google's updates. But yeah, you don't want to have more H1s, and you don't want to have some like weird H2s that are questions for the quiz. So just tell Claude to remove the H1s and the H2s. And you still want to do the basics for keeping people on your articles or on your blog posts. The basics, as in if you have an image at the top of the article, it should be really small, maybe to the side of the main H1, to the main title. That's what I do on my blog post because I don't want to create extra pixels that makes it take longer for people to get the answers. You want to give the answer immediately above the fold before people start scrolling. You can use a TLDR. That's a really easy way to do it. By not having the image, people literally open up your blog post and then they see the answer right there. And then people go deeper because they got their answer, and then they want to go deeper without bouncing back to the search engine results pages. You want to use your keywords in the right places, in the page title, the meta description, the URL slug, the H1, the beginning of the first sentence. You want to do those things, but the quizzes, it's a fun little thing to make your pages and posts better. And especially if you are targeting a keyword that is competitive, it could help make the difference in why you succeed versus your competitors. So I love this. I thought it was unique. It makes blog posts more fun, increases time on site, increases brand. And that is all that I got for you on episode 786 of my daily digital marketing show. Shout out to Harpreet for sharing this one again. And if you are doing search engine optimization and you want to get just the best tips on how to actually do SEO that gets customers, that gets users, that gets leads, paying customers, users, and warm leads, that's what my 13.5-hour SEO course, Compact Keywords, is about. If you are doing SEO right now, this will shave so much time on learning what to do that actually gets results, learning how to actually get results with SEO rather than doing SEO that doesn't convert or SEO that converts poorly. And that's what Compact Keywords is about. If you're not familiar with it, there is a 10-minute video at the top of the landing page for Compact Keywords, compactkeywords.com. And that 10-minute video explains it in great detail. And it's a great video. I would recommend it. But this is all for this episode of the show. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. I will talk to you again tomorrow. Bye now.